How's it going, everyone? Ranger Rexford here, coming at you with an idea that has been developing for the past few days. I am calling it what did the comments say? I'm sorry. Um, they called it Pokemon Rejects, which I'm also enjoying the name too. So what Pokemon Rejects is it's a variant of a regular Nuzlocke. It can be used in any game, and it just is dependent on how you want to run it yourself in the game. So the first rule is that the starter Pokemon is picked by the trainer ID. However, a new addition to the rule is that the starter Pokemon must be released after you catch your first Pokemon, whether it be the first route or second route, whichever one you actually catch a Pokemon on. It's way too high base stat for this specific Nuzlocke, and it must be released. The second rule is the obvious Nuzlocke rule is that Pokemon is considered dead if it faints by any means throughout the Nuzlocke. You can either release the Pokemon or you can store it in a box if you're not going to use it for the rest of the run. So, as with the starter Pokemon, you can put it in, let's say, box 14 or box 18, whichever one is the final box in your PC, and just leave it there so you don't have to touch it. This is just a standard Nuzlocke rule that is permanent throughout every single Nuzlocke, no matter what. Unless you're doing a zombie lock or something, which I read about, which was kind of stupid, but whatever. The shiny claws, if you run into a shiny, take it, use it. If it faints, save it. That's basically what this rule says. Nickname all your Pokemon for uniqueness and to create a better bond with the Pokemon. It's the main point of the Nuzlocke. Duplication clause, this is in effect for the run, but it will be discussed once I get down all the way to the bottom around here. And then rule 6 is the gift clause. All gifts given by NPCs are acceptable at any point during the Nuzlocke. Examples include the Why-Not Egg in Ruby Sapphire Emerald, Kanto starters in X and Y, and the Riolu Egg in Diamond Pearl Platinum, as well as the Togepi Egg in both Gold Silver, Heart Gold Soul Silver, and Diamond Pearl Platinum too. They can count as the encounter for the area they are obtained in, and they do not take away from, let's say, like for example, in the Riolu Egg for Diamond Pearl Platinum, you get that in the Iron Islands, but it does not count as your only encounter there. You can catch something else there since it's a static obtainable Pokemon. Obvious rule here is but do not start the Nuzlocke until you receive Pokeballs, which is it's a very given rule, even though it's not stated in the official rules of a Nuzlocke. For the level limit, personally, for this Nuzlocke, I think 3 levels for any Nuzlocke is going to be perfectly 3 levels above the highest gym levels will be perfectly fine for making it so that it's not too difficult, but it's also not too easy for any person to be over-leveled or to be under-leveled for the Nuzlocke itself. And so now onto the actual important section of the game. For every route in the game, you are to look at each route and see which Pokemon have the lowest base stat totals. You're looking at the 2 lowest base stats. So, for example, on the first route in Ruby Sapphire Emerald, you have a Wurmple. You have a choice between a Wurmple, a Zigzagoon, and a Poochyena. I already did the research, and Wurmple and Poochyena are the 2 lowest base stat Pokemon on that route. Therefore, you can only catch one of those. You cannot catch both. You can only catch one of them. And when you encounter the first Pokemon in that route, you must catch that. If you don't catch it, you obviously can't catch any other Pokemon in that route. It's just like a regular Nuzlocke after that. But it's in a sense, this Nuzlocke is meant to use the Pokemon that are rejected a lot more, or potentially are just very, very hard to find. For example, on Route 104 after Odale Town in Emerald, the 2 lowest base stats, I believe, are Lotad and Ralts. And Lotad itself has a 4% chance, and Ralt has a 1% chance of being found. So finding those two is like finding needles in a haystack. And going back to the duplication clause of Rule 5, as you see, if you previously caught a Pokemon that has the lowest base stat total of another route, then you may ignore that Pokemon and go on to the next lowest base stat. So for the second route in Emerald, you have the choice between Zigzagoon, Poochyena, and Wingull. Let's say on the first route you found a Poochyena. You can only catch a Zigzagoon or Wingull for that route. And last but not least, obviously, I already explained this. If any Pokemon faints when attempting to capture it, then you cannot try for any other Pokemon for that route. So these are the rules that I will be following for my Pokemon Emerald Pokemon Rejects Nuzlocke for whenever I release the videos. I will be working on those over the next few weeks, most likely. I'll probably be doing probably about 4 or 5 in a row, and then taking like a day or two break due to work, because I work mainly night times. I don't have time in the morning to do a video. Maybe I'll do once in a while, but I'll generally be trying to keep a consistent upload schedule with these videos. But after I make this video, I'm actually going on a camping trip for 5 days, so I won't be able to work on this. But when I get back, I'll be doing at least 5 or 6 of these videos minimum, just on the first day I'm back. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, and if you really want to see the series, just subscribe and be ready for the absolute fun that this will provide. Alright, see you guys later.